Welcome back, y'all, to another episode of Hip Hop Babies.
Yes, sir, ski.
So y'all with the most DeadLeigh. You know, I got my boy Ray with me, as always. And we locked, bro. We locked. We here. It's been a minute. Had to make sure to give y'all our top 10 of 2025. Y'all ain't been around on the channel. Do this every year, bro. It's been a great year for hip hop, bro. This is an exclusively hip hop list. I would have put some country in there, I swear. Y'all gotta go to my other channel, bro.
Yep.
So we get
DeadLeigh country tunes.
We doing it, bro. You know, I'm gonna give y'all a little rundown how it's gonna work. 10 to 6 first. He's gonna give his list. I'm gonna give mine. I talk a little bit, and then we're gonna do 5 through 1. And then after that, we'll do honorable mentions. Whew, I'm excited. You want to do yours first?
No, I'll go first. My 10 list, you know, it's subjective, okay? Don't come at me. Don't come at DeadLeigh. You know, we all got different opinions. And we love to hear what y'all have as well below. So number 10, Playboi Carti, music.
I knew it was on there, bro. It's okay, man. Starting off strong.
Number 9, De La Soul, Cabin in the Sky. Number 8, Pink Siifu, Black Antique, Onyx. So them together, because he did a combo thing later, so I'm going to count that.
All right.
Number 7, Boldy James and Nicholas Craven, Criminally Attached. Number 6, Armand Hammer and the Alchemist, Mercy. So that's my 6. Since we doing the bottom half first. You surprised?
I like your list better than mine, bro.
What?
Nah,
Come on.
I'm playing. I like my list too. But you got a lot of stuff in there that I felt like I wasn't quite able to fit in. So that was a great first 5. So
DeadLeigh, you know, I respect your opinion on my list. What's your bottom 5? I want to hear it. I'm excited.
So I got at number 10, bro. We go into the Bay. Overcast, Strike When the Iron is Hot, bro. I put Overcast on there. I was able to fit him in. Damn, I love that album, bro. Number 9. It's going back and forth on this one. Got Z Loopers, Dolly Ain't Dead. Another certified banger. Number 8, might surprise you. I got Rome Streets and the Conductor, Train Spotting. Throwback, way beginning of the year, bro.
Okay, I rock with that one.
Number 7, Larry June, 2 Chainz, and the Alchemist. Life is Beautiful. It is. I can't lie.
You know ball so far. Keep going, brother.
And number 6, lastly, we got McKinley, Dixon, Magic Alive. At number 6 for me. He's back. He's better than ever. So, you know what, man? Yeah, that's it, bro.
That's a good vibe, man. Yeah, a lot of the albums that I was really struggling to not put on. Z Loopers was basically fighting for Carti's spot. On my list is literally 11. So I was going to either swap it, you know, by the recording session. But I stuck with Carti.
That's okay.
Z Loopers was fire.
Carti is an honorable mention for me. I did not have room for him on my list. I thought it was definitely a moment. Definitely the best. No, maybe like second best mainstream moment was this Carti album. I just felt like the mainstream really like took a break this year. It's my most played album this year, believe it or not.
And also just like all the hype, the build up. I mean, we reviewed it and I was playing songs throughout the year. That's why I kept it at 10. Seeing him at Camp Flogno do some of the songs live and then dropping the album. And I enjoyed it. I know some people didn't enjoy it, but I thought it was a solid album. It's not his best and there's definitely weaknesses and that's why it's at 10. But the highs, just the tracks I got from it really stuck throughout the year.
Yeah, I mean, the production on there is insane, right? You got so many crazy moments, bro. Opium, baby. You could just go through the list. Swamp Izzo was amazing on there. Hey, bro, you might be a terrible person. I don't really know you, but your music is all right, bro. Another one I want to talk about is that you got Pink Siifu on your list this year, and I don't, bro. And that upsets me, bro. It upsets me. That is a really good project. It kind of got pushed to the back as the year went on for me because it came out so early.
Yeah, and we reviewed it. Unfortunately, it didn't come out. And then he dropped Onyx later in the year, and that brought back that first part. Black Antique. And then when he packaged it together, I saw it was basically a brother-sister album. It made me enjoy it more. Pretty long, though, altogether, but on their own. And then when you do have the time to listen to them together, it's a lot on here, man. Some of the tracks on here are crazy. The energy, some of the flows, everything, man. I feel like this was a really good moment for him. I feel like this is like his sound. Like nothing else really sounds like this. This was like, whoa.
Yeah, man, the noise was at all-time high. I know you love that. It was really good, though, you know, like just how he creates his albums. It kind of reminds me a little bit of like Pink Floyd albums, where you have to listen to it front to back, you know, and it's kind of like a trip all the way through. You can take little bits and pieces. Obviously, I think there's tons of like little sampleable or like energy-packed bits and pieces throughout. But just the way that he rides throughout the album, it's unmatched, man. Definitely like a sound-defining type of album. That's kind of what we've been getting from him recently, which is what's been pushing him so hard into our ears and onto other projects, you know, that came out this year. We've had other Pink Siifu features. He's just one of the best to do it right now, so definitely honorable mention for me. Let's get into it, bro. Let's talk. Okay. Let's reveal the whole list, you know?
Yeah, because I think the honorable mentions is going to be all over.
All right, Ray. Moment's here, man. Top 5 of 2025. What you got, fam?
Okay, so number 5, McKinley Dixon, Magic Alive. Yeah, crazy album, crazy concept, crazy follow-up. Number 4, Mike, Showbiz. Number 3, Billy Woods, GOLLIWOG. Number 2, Freddie Gibbs and the Alchemist, Alfredo 2. Number 1, I mean, I pretty much predicted it, I think, earlier, but...
You did.
Clipse, Let God Sort 'Em Out. Man.
Birds don't sing. Birds don't sing, they scream in pain.
Yeah, it was everywhere, man.
Yeah, that was my number 1 mainstream moment of hip-hop for 2025. So that's the 5, bro.
Okay. Well, let's get into yours, man. Let's see what your top 5.
All right, man. So number 5, I went with the other Mike album, Pinball 2 with Tony Seltzer. Showbiz very well could have been in the same spot, if not a little bit higher. Number 4, Freddie Gibbs and the Alchemist, Alfredo 2. Not as high as Alfredo 1. I think I put Alfredo 1 as my number 1 album when that one came out. Number 3, Armand Hammer, Mercy. It's that good, bro. Did not put the other Billy Woods album in there. Interchangeable to some degree for me. Number 2, Clipse, Let God Sort 'Em Out.
Ooh, okay.
So, number 2 for me. Really good. But I, being the true underground lover, being somebody who just... I just need something new all the time, bruh. Number 1, I got Niontay For the Love of the Money, bruh. That is my number 1 album of the year. I don't want to hear nothing about it, bruh.
I didn't know it, but I knew it at the same time.
I don't want to hear nothing about it, bruh. This is all subjective. But god damn, that shit rocked my world when it came out. I was just playing that shit nonstop for like 2 months straight, bro. So it was tough not to auto put that at number 1, but when I was writing out my top 10, that was the first one I wrote down, and I just had to be true to it. So
I mean, I remember you saying the Hits of Technology was your favorite closer so far to the year, so it makes sense. And you were basically saying a lot of highlights from that album. I mean, that was an honorable mention for me.
Yeah, sure. Another honorable mention, Soulja Hate Repellent. You know, that one just came out in the middle of December. And that one's crazy too. Production is just insane. So that's really what drew me to this project, to put it at my number 1. It's some of the similar stuff that I like about Makami, you know. You listen to Makami the first time, well, he don't have lyrics for you. And you're going to have to listen to it. You're going to really have to hear what he has to say. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because you don't understand the man's accent, so you're going to have to really listen to what he has to say, it makes it better for me. Nobody really gets it like you do. I'm singing these bars word for word. When I first heard it, I couldn't recite to you a single bar. He really did his thing, man. And then I had to put Clipse at number 2 because that album was just 10 out of 10. What a comeback, bro.
Yeah.
No Malice and Pusha T. Bars for days, bro. I can't believe we actually got that, you know?
Yeah, same. After a long wait, seeing Pharrell and them all work together. I mean, even though Chad Hugo wasn't able to be a part of the team anymore, unfortunately, it all came together. That album sounds amazing. I still play tracks from it. Probably my song of the year is on there. Mike Tyson, Blow to the Face. And even some other bangers. I feel like you could play it around people. I can play it on my headsets. It's versatile. I think that's one thing that's always been a thing about Clipse. You know, some people are like, "Ooh, who is that?" But if you know hip hop, especially back in the days, they had some hits. The Neptunes in them were part of hip hop crossing over during that period, and I think, it carried over pretty well. Obviously, I think the influence of Pharrell and stuff definitely helps. And then obviously Pusha T still doing rap and holding it down because he's been dropping dope music as well.
It's kind of crazy. It's like they pick it up right where they left off, and they're doing features and stuff, and like they're back in the public eye. It's wild. Another moment just similar to music where everybody kind of got together and was appreciating. Clipse super fan, Tyler the Creator on there. He delivered one of the best guest verses of the year on there. You know, it was like everything was kind of culminating to a moment when that dropped. That's why I got that one so high.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think if you listen to hip hop this year, it should be at least an honorable mention. If it's not in your list, I'd be surprised.
Shout out my little bro, because I know this ain't nowhere near his list. Nowhere near. What was the better album of the two? GOLLIWOG or Mercy, bro? Clearly for you, it's GOLLIWOG.
I mean, I put GOLLIWOG above just because of when it came out. I've had more time with it. I think that album with certain tracks really impressed me, really hit me. The messaging, especially what was going on at the time. I feel like Billy Woods, as we say, you know, he knows how to drop an album when it's relevant and he talks about certain topics or informs me about certain things and has me looking up things that are relevant in some ways. It was like, oh, I wouldn't even know about that, right? So I love that about his music. And then this album is really that type of album. And then Mercy, of course, I mean, that was great. I've had less time with it, but that was a special album from them as well. I think it's a really good entry point if you're just getting into them, but if you're already into them, it's a great album too.
I think that you had said when we were talking that you liked it first listen better than you liked Haram off first listen. So definitely a little bit more palatable, I feel like. Isn't a bad thing or a good thing. It just kind of depends where your headspace is at, in my opinion. Haram is still a really, really, really good album for me. I don't know if I would rate it as high as I do Mercy. I think I like Mercy just a bit more. I think Elucid way that he works with Billy Woods, I don't want to split them up anymore, you know, like they're just so good together. So that's why I put this one on instead.
Yeah, and even though, like I said, Mercy came out later, just repeated listens, especially when we got into reviewing it, it was a really enjoyable listen, and it was a really enjoyable in-depth album. And I just think GOLLIWOG, I mean, even the title, man, it just was a really powerful album to see people have that dialogue. And I think that's what's good about Billy Woods. He allows us to have that dialogue, whether it's online or with our friends or in our heads, you know, just listening to what he's talking about. It's always refreshing.
We had another flip-flop. I got number 4, you got number 2, Alfredo 2. What was so good about Alfredo 2 that you had to put that right up there, bro?
I think when we were reviewing Alfredo 2, I was a little, I wouldn't even say negative. I just think I was comparing it to the first one a lot. But I think I did say I really enjoyed it. And I think, I mean, the more I listened to it, I was able to distance it from the first one and look at it from where Freddie has been going and where Alchemist has been going. And this is a lot of what they've been doing at a top level since Alfredo 1. And even with the concept, I think I was kind of talking about it a little bit. It's really loose, but, you know, them moving on from the mobster thing to more of the different culture that they were obviously influenced by. I think that was dope. The whole package. You got Anderson .Paak. You got Jid. It wasn't really misses on this album. Like the albums that are in my top 5 are really competitive for these spots.
I would have put Alfredo higher, and that's just how good the music has been this year. It's hard for me to rank these because I had intimate moments with all these projects, and And really, like, I had some other ones that were like low key. I was like, I want to kind of sneak this in, but I didn't spend as much time with it as I did with these ones. And I feel like these ones really earned their spot this year. But yeah, I got hella honorable mentions. But
yeah, same.
Al and Freddie, that's a classic combo. That's gonna get in 9 times out of 10. So
I mean, we both had a Mike album in there. You had Pinball too, which I really loved, and I was re-listening to today to either put it or Showbiz in there. I picked Showbiz just because I don't know. Even though I think Showbiz was longer and it was a more personal project, I felt like it just maybe that's why it connected with me more. And it came out early in the year, so it was pretty much all I was listening to in January, I think. So when I went back and I saw like it came out so early in the year, I damn near thought this came out late last year. So when I actually saw, I was looking at the deluxe and everything, I'm like, oh, it came out January. I had to make sure. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is in there. Just We Can Be Free. I mean, all the songs on there pretty much, man. This was an amazing album to start the year off.
Yeah.
And Pinball 2 was special too. I think that one's more upbeat though. So I can see why you had that maybe.
I went for Pinball for the slaps, bro. 71, that was like my slap repeat, bro. So Tony Seltzer, when I hear that fucking electronic Tony Seltzer, I know that that's just gonna be a banger. It's gonna be a classic, bro. So both of those could have easily made it. Like you said, Showbiz is a little bit more personal. You can tell by the album cover, by the topic matter, all this stuff. That is a really, really good album. For the sake of sharing the wealth, did not go on there for me. And I'm glad that we both picked the opposite one. I thought we were going to do that with Armand Hammer and Billy Woods as well. I thought you were going to leave the Armand Hammer album off, but no, you put both of them on, man.
I couldn't. Even though Billy Woods is, one of the artists in that group, I feel like it's different. And I just feel like they were just so great. I can't lie, man. Like, I thought about doing that, but I was just like, man, I can't do it. Like, it just wouldn't have made sense to me. I enjoyed those albums too much. You know what I'm saying?
It was so good. So, I get it.
De La Soul, Circle in the Sky. This is one of the OG albums. Mass Appeal was killing it this year. We're probably going to get into that. But this was the album that really stood out to me. Losing Dave, True Boy, The Plug. De La Soul is one of those groups that I grew up listening. When I do playlists for certain events and stuff that I do, I usually put Me, Myself, and I in there. I think that's a pretty positive song. So to see them make an album, again, after years of not really making a lot of music. I mean, they did put out that one album that was fundraised and everything years ago, though. It's been a while. And they've been going through label things to drop their old music. So to see them come back on Mass Appeal, shout out to Nas for really, making all this happen and putting these OGs out. And this was the best one, I think, this year. The concept, talking about moving on from grief. It came out later and I didn't really have a lot of time to listen to it because I was jumping around so much. But when I did tap in, this album hit. It's a little long, but I think it's warranted considering that these guys are legends and they know how to put an album together. It's paced pretty well. You could tell it's a passion project, and I loved it for that.
Yeah, no, it was great. Has that old hip-hop soul to it still, They rap a little bit slower. They talk about a little bit cleaner things.
Or old people stuff sometimes. I'm not going to lie, some of it is like...
Some of it,
It's grandpa rap sometimes. I mean, we're at the point... They're OGs, but... I think it's cool to hear that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Old soul, good wisdom. I'm never gonna turn down free wisdom. That's what I'm here for. So like that shit was tough. They started off with Giancarlo. He was hella funny on the beginning, and then like you said, just these features like you wouldn't necessarily expect them, but they all work. Black Thought being real great. Fucking Slick Rick had Killer Mike on here. The Nas feature, that shit was great. So now the whole project was really good, bro. That was one of the ones that was fighting to be on my list as well, because I was telling you that I wanted some older stuff on here. It was that one, and then it was Mobb Deep.
Yes.
Was also fighting to get on there.
Great.
Both.
Supreme Clientele 2. We're getting into honor mentions a little bit, but Supreme Clientele 2 was really good too, by Ghostface. Man, that label really killed it this year, showing love to the OGs. Because even Slick Rick and Big L, I mean, I know that some of those, the Big L one was a mix of like newer, some unreleased, some mixed stuff. Like it's mastered now, or like, you know, they put it out. That was cool to see too. If you love hip hop, it's always cool to tap back in. The Slick Rick one was interesting. I mean, he's super old school, like one of the first storytellers, and he raps like it. But I think it was pretty good for a new Slick Rick album. So it was dope to see all those albums come out this year and be celebrated. I mean, Nas and DJ Premier.
Yeah.
Like, even though it might not have been the best, it was still really good.
You're getting what you came for. That old school East Coast sound from Mobb Deep. They got Alchemist back on there multiple times. Just paying homage to what they used to do. And there's always going to be a lane for them. I think that we've proved that in the 2020s is that there's always going to be a lane for a certain type of music. If it was popular at one point, it will come back to be popular at some other point. Griselda also helped, push that forward. And it kind of helped resurge what people were already doing. So, and another guy who is paying homage and doing stuff kind of the old school way, honorable mention for me, Joey Badass, Lonely at the Top, He stays true to himself, bro. This was a great comeback album. This is a great year for comeback albums. I felt like Joey Badass could have easily been in the top 15 from Superfly. That shit,
Yeah.
tough.
Yeah, it was dope to see him come back after a long wait. Joey Badass is an artist. I mean, everyone loves during the mixtape days. We talk about the Renaissance and like bringing back that old school sound. He was one of those dudes. And even though this one didn't sell that well, I'm hoping he can follow up and keep doing it for the love of the game because this was a solid album.
Chance?
Oh yeah. Yeah, Chance the Rapper, Starline. That's an honorable mention for me. I liked it for a comeback album. I thought it was enjoyable. Wasn't in my top 10 just because, there were some really great drops. And I just think I didn't stay with this one as much as I thought I would. But when it came out, I was happy. I'm happy Chance is back. Chance being back is good for the rap game because he's happy, but he can also talk about stuff. And I think that's good.
Yeah, it was interesting, man. I feel like the discourse around him has been pretty toxic since Big Day. So it's tough, man. It's tough to come back from stuff like that. He had the situation with his wife, which people cared way too much about for my liking. I didn't like how involved people were with his business. And I'm glad we could just get back to the music, bro. I felt like that was kind of what was the holdup, was that he wasn't dropping music. So it was like, what else do people have to talk about Chance the Rapper? It's kind of a curse to keep your name in discourse sometimes. But he did something to where, now we have something to talk about. And I like the album too. I felt like there were some misses on there because he was very feature reliant on this project. And I hope that we get a more personal album for the next one. I feel like this one, it was okay to have that many features because it was kind of like a comeback, but I don't want to see that again. And that's going to transition me into my first question, bro. Is for you, what was the most disappointing album of this year? Dishonorable mention for tonight. Let me tell you mine first because I already started touching it just a little. Let me start by saying that Tupac is the most influential rapper of all time.
Yep.
Bar none. Okay? Secondly, the Atlanta father, the one who birthed all of these clones, bro. He done lost the sauce. He lost the juice, bro. Thugger, you need to retire, bro. I'm sorry. This album was so fucking bad, bro. You are ruining the legacy. This is worse than Celtics Shaquille O'Neal, bro. You need to retire, bro. I don't ever want to hear the bullshit that came out of that first song on this project, Ooey Scooty, ever again, bro. That shit was miserable, bro. Not only was it bad, it was bloated. There were so many expectations on it. It was long awaited. It was after the, Business is Business or whatever project that he dropped. Because I just hate this project, bro. It's that bad.
It was bad. It was horrible.
Most disappointing. And this is the same year that Lil Wayne dropped another Carti, bro.
I was just gonna pick that one. I ain't gonna lie. I was gonna default to that one just because, I was hoping, I'm like, maybe Lil Wayne still got it. He was like, bruh, they don't want me to drop this album, da da da. So I'm like, what are you gonna drop? I see why they didn't want you to drop this, bro. That wasn't good. Peanuts to an Elephant. We ain't even gonna go into the rest of them. We just gonna talk about that one that was a meme. But going past that, there was a bunch of those. And I just think, Lil Wayne, you're too good. Just stop. No, I'm not gonna say just stop. Just regroup after this. And if you want to drop another album, maybe not another Carter. Do something else. I can't tell you that though. You're a legend, so if you feel moved to do it, but not like this, please. It wasn't good.
Don't drop any more albums. You and Young Thug.
Yeah, chill on.
That's your kid, bro. Get your kid, Young Thug. Tell him.
That's your kid. That's crazy.
Tell him to stop dropping.
Stop it, bro.
And you know what? Lil Wayne was influenced by Tupac. Double down on my point. Most influential rapper of all time. Got me heated, bro.
Let's not focus on the negative too much. Because those were pretty bad negatives. Another rapper that was influenced by Tupac this year, Key Glockavelli. I really like this project. He dropped the deluxe, I think, later this year or a little around the time he dropped this. And it was dope. I mean, it's just bangers.
You've been consistently pushing him, bro.
Yeah. I mean, I rock with some of his songs.
He's picking up the torch for Dolph, bro.
Hell yeah. And I think he's really good for this sound. I think this was a good follow-up to
the Glaucoma?
Yep. So this is a dope follow-up to that.
I agree. I've seen this on a few top 10 lists. So, like you said, it's bangers putting on for Memphis. I do want to talk about one that I didn't get talked about on our list. Magic Alive, bro, as a follow-up, bro. That was a crazy moment. I felt like I didn't know where McKinley was going to go, but I felt like he delivered an even more fleshed out project this time. Got some sequels to songs on there. McKinley Dixon, straight out of Virginia, bro. Virginia stays winning this year. We got 3 Virginians on our top 10 this year. Just a crazy album. I really love the jazz rap or classical rap fusion that he does, and I feel like he really puts on for this sound. Reminds me a little bit of people like Kendrick Lamar or Rap Ferreira, where they have, a nice, organic, like musical sounding music. I know that's a weird way to describe it. It's not just like straight rap music. You got like classical elements in there. You got real instrumentation, and he does real composing. I feel like this album is just really, really beautifully crafted. So I wanted to go back and just, mention it because it's on our 5 and our 6.
Yeah, it was a dope concept, man. I really love that album as well. Another album talking about dealing with grief. I feel like black artists, I mean, we're talking about rap, of course, but specifically black artists, they really know how to tap into a relatable aspect when it comes to that, especially as someone who is getting older and you see certain people pass away, whether it's friends or family. It's like they really know how to paint that and put it into words in such a powerful way. And I feel like with Beloved Paradise Jazz, he did that, talking about his life and a little bit about his mom and certain things like that. And then this one, it was a story about, bringing a friend back to life and how that can come back and bite you, or, certain things happen. It's magical almost, you know what I'm saying? Magic Alive. And you don't really see that in rap a lot, especially on a big level. I love that, you know what I'm saying? I love fantasy. I love stuff like that. So it was dope to see that in hip hop.
Another person who just captures the moment so well, Larry June and 2 Chainz and Alchemist on Life is Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Such a great time to drop that project. Came out at the perfect time. Man, that shit was hitting, bro. The cover art, they on the boat in the middle of the water. I could just picture myself right there with them. That album was amazing, bro. Larry June has come a long way for me. I was hating a little bit, but you know what? I realized he's just about getting money, and he just about living life. Getting 2 Chainz on there, that was crazy, bro. I don't know, man. I didn't think I would have a 2 Chainz album back in my top 10 ever again. I love me some 2 Chainz. Pretty Girls Love Trap Music. That was one of my favorite albums from 2015.
Yeah.
And it's just great to see Titty Boy, still doing his thing all these years later, man.
Of course. I mean, he's one of the, whenever he pops up on the features, it's usually a moment because he's such a personality. And I think he brought that back on this album, and of course Larry June and the Alchemist added to that. This was an honorable mention for me. It came out earlier, so when I was making the list, I mean, it just fell out. Same with Overcast. I mean, I love that you... What, didn't you have that in there?
Mm-hmm.
Was it in there?
Yeah, it was my number 10.
Yeah, I was contemplating forcing that one in there over Carti just because, man, the Bay. I mean, I really love that album. It has Small Talk. I mean, that was a dope-ass single. I mean, a lot of people love that single. And a bunch of other songs. I think Strange Ways. Oh, I play that still.
Yeah, bro.
So the features, the production, of course. Overcast did his thing on that one.
Yeah, it was a nice little concept, man. You know, he's been kind of rough around the edges so far, but that was really a nice little magnifying glass into what he can be. Another person I just want to bring up really quick, who's also from the Bay, DiMaggio. What Do You Hear When You Pray? That was one that was knocking on the door trying to get in to my top 10. I've been listening to him for a while. I didn't hear this DiMaggio until this last week, bro, and I'm beating myself up for it, bro. I swear that fucking star on Apple Music does not work, bro, because I star all my favorite artists.
Yeah.
And don't show me that shit when I want to see it. Hold up, this person dropped? Hold up, Rap Ferreira dropped with Kenny Siegel earlier this year, bro?
Yeah, that too.
That was crazy. That one was also really good, and I didn't really know how much I was going to like it, but, you know, Kenny Siegel just brings that perfect amount of noise, bro. And Rap Ferreira was doing his thing on there, bro. Like, that was another one for me personally.
Yeah, that was dope. You had Rome Streets and Conductor Williams on there. That was an honorable mention for me. I really love that project.
I felt like when Kiss the Ring came out and I didn't have it on my list, I felt like it could have easily made it on there as well. Rome Streets has just got such a earworm of a voice. Like, his voice is just like kind of iconic at this point. So I felt like I deserved to show bro some love because I've been showing some other rappers in his lane more love than him, and I feel like he deserves it equally as much. And that is part of the reason why I also left Boldy James out of my top 10 this year. So what was my top Boldy James album of the year? I actually went with Conversational Pieces.
Ooh.
With Real Bad Man.
Yep.
It Factor, one of my favorite songs of the year. I did not know that we were going to get an LP and Boldy James song, but hell, man, that shit was amazing. I want to talk about, I don't know how much you really listen to this, but Cal Banks dropped one of my favorite producer albums of the year. Did you get a chance to check that one out?
I mean, I clicked through it. I didn't really have to listen to it, even though it came out from TDE and stuff.
I feel like producer albums are in like a weird spot right now, and they're not like super popular. So whenever I can find one that I like, I'm gonna check it out. Cal Banks is one of my favorite producers for Isaiah Rashad, so I was drawn to it because Isaiah Rashad's on there. You got Smino on there. But there's a lot of surprises on there. There's a lot of people that I've never heard of that do a phenomenal job, and I think Cal Banks just does a really good job at crafting his own project and his sequencing. So definitely go back and check that out if you have some time.
I have to mention Clipping dropped. Clipping came back with an album. We talk about comeback albums. Dead Channel Sky. I really like this album. Dominator is one of my favorite tracks of this year. Crazy track. You know what you're getting into when you get into these guys. David still bringing it with the bars. He's from Oakland, so he's always keeping it gritty, but you know he knows how to do some other stuff too.
Shout out that boy Thomas Jefferson. Another one that I want to talk about really quick. Feel like we're missing a few big names, so let me mention a big name here for a second. JID. God Does Like Ugly. You know, that was another moment. That was another big mainstream moment. Now, was it as good as music? And was it as good as Let God Sort 'Em Out? No, I don't think so at all. But the moment of it, I feel like it was comparable. I felt like hip-hop really came together for this album.
I mean, yeah, with the whole build-up. I mean, he had other artists posting the promo. He worked with a bunch of artists that, you know, were dropping around the time. I mean, Jid, he's dope, man. I just think this album wasn't as good as his previous work.
The Forever Story, right?
Yeah. This was a competitive year. But, I mean, this was Definitely a dope project. Some of the highs weren't as high as these other albums. And I feel like when he did features on something like Alfredo, but when he showed up this year, he's always done a great job. This album, I don't know what it was, man. It just wasn't fully there for me.
I think it's a shared sentiment. I feel like kind of with his ability and like how good he is, bro, it's hard to know what to expect from him because he'll be touted as a top 5 MC on ability, but when we get down to the playoff performances, are they there? Me personally, no, I don't think so. But I do think that he has this ability when he's rhyming and when he's in the flow pocket, he's not missing a beat. Like, he's hitting everything super technical. I feel like he breaks down words and bars better than anybody. It's just not what I'm trying to hear necessarily.
Yeah. Another one that's kind of like that, Aesop Rock, Black Hole Soprante, and I heard It's a Mess There Too. I heard It's a Mess There Too I like more than Black Hole. He's one of those rappers that technically he's up there. I feel like these albums are really good, especially I heard It's a Mess. The production, especially at this point in the game, I just feel like he's an OG in this alternative underground rap lane. To see him still find ways to do this weird alternative rap sound and keep stretching it. I mean, it's always impressive. And I just felt like this last one, I was re-listening to it today to maybe see if I could put it in there, and I couldn't just because it didn't. Again, he's really abstract. But these albums are really enjoyable for his catalog, I feel like, especially the second one.
Yeah, I haven't checked him out since Spirit World.
I've been trying to get you to.
It's something different. I agree, and the double-edged sword, it's the thing that's going to drive people to your music and it's the thing that's going to drive people away from your music. And, just got to respect, bro. Another one I want to bring up that was just left off the list, Gais Guevara, Gilliard Ibn Said.
He dropped 2 this year.
He dropped another one.
Yeah, the other 2/5 or the Absolutely True Diaries of a Part-Time Trench Baby. And then he dropped like an EP or some other.
He's been dropping, bro. Quest to self-mythologize.
And I've checked them all out. I think that was the best one. But the other ones were interesting.
He had a good year, man. I felt like that was his best project of the year. It was also on Crooked Stick on Magic Alive, and that was a phenomenal verse. He's one of those people who talks on social media so much that like sometimes I feel like I remember what he says, and I'm pretty sure he's saying that producing is taking up too much of his time and he wants to focus more on rapping, which, it's kind of sad because I love his production, but also like if he wants to go more into the rapping bag, I mean, he's one of the people that you want to do it. So I've been tuned in. I think that he's going to keep on dropping, bro. He's definitely worth a listen. He comes from a very genuine and grounded place, and that's really what I love about his music the most. I had it at 9, and then it just fell out.
Yeah, he was one of those for me too. Earl Sweatshirt, Live, Laugh, Love. Oh man, yeah. This was one. Hurt to Leave Out. I really enjoyed this project. It was a smooth one. A lot of different topics. I mean, I feel like Earl's in this spot where, of course, he can rap about anything, but he's finding a way to be either relatable or just like kind of random, but like still rapping about what he's rapping about. And this was that type of project. People are saying it sounds more happy. I will say that. Okay, I guess I can agree with that, especially compared to like something like Sick or
I don't like shit.
Vor Dyer. But Vor Dyer wasn't really like super depressing to me, so I don't you know what I'm saying? So
I think it's just like slice of life at this point is kind of what bro goes for, and you can tell just from like the things that like he says or like the things he names things. Like the opening track is fucking Golden State Warriors versus Sacramento, which I thought was really funny. I love that, this shit translates into the music. I loved the beat on that. It was crazy. That fucking wailing in the background was awesome. My favorite track on here is Gamma, Need the Love.
Yep, that was a banger.
Like that shit went crazy.
Another off future guy, Tyler Creator, Don't Tap the Glass. I don't think it was in both of ours, right? No.
It was
good
not,
album. It was a fun album. And it was a happy album.
it was too short.
It was
and
short.
It was sporadic, and I think that's why it wasn't in there. However, this did have one of the best songs of the year on here. Sugar on My Tongue is definitely one of my favorite tracks of the year. And I feel like if we got more of those songs on the whole thing, and it was a little bit longer, it would have made the top 10. I just felt like it was a little bit too out of left field and not solid. It wasn't really a full-length project that we're used to from Tyler, the Creator. I feel like he's kind of anal about what he drops. Like, this is the first time that I've seen him drop something that sounded like it wasn't, like, completely finished, you know? Or sounded like it was, like, a loosey and, like, he could have added more to it, but he just stopped. I haven't seen this from him in a while.
I mean, it was right after Chromacopia, which was kind of a big album, I felt like. And you kind of even were saying with that one, you didn't feel it as much. So maybe if he, maybe takes a break, because this was pretty quick.
It was a great dance album. Like, and it wasn't super hip hop. It was more dance for me. And I think that's kind of also what pushed it off for me. Highly enjoyable. Another guy I want to bring up really quick, Navy Blue, The Sword and the Soaring. Really, really, really good project. Navy Blue always knows how to bring me back down to my roots and just, reflect. And I feel like he's been a staple for me for a while now. Ever since he made that album about his grandfather around the same time where my grandfather had passed.
Ways annoying.
I just feel like I've been locked with him. Just talks about life, just talks about things that are important to him and the lessons and stuff that I can learn from somebody who's my age. I'm 26, so I always appreciate somebody who's like my age doing it, living it like this, bro. Navy Blue was up there. I just feel like this one didn't connect as much as previous projects had for me.
Yeah, same.
I wanted to see if you were going to bring up Balloonerism, bro.
Matt Miller, Balloonerism. Nah, man. I don't know what it was about that album. There's a few albums on here kind of like that. Like Little Simz, Lotus. I like that album. But it just didn't hit like Little Simz usually does for me. Rico Nasty, Lethal. I thought that was a solid project.
Okay.
But it didn't hit like crazy. But it was cool. I like the rock rap stuff. I mean, she's always been like that, but she's really pushing it now. And I think she's doing it with the tour and everything. People liking the look and everything. I think that's dope for her, and I think she can keep doing that. But Balloonerism was good. I don't know. I just need to sit with it more, man.
No, yeah, I get you. And
I don't know. It's just ever since Mac passed, these albums have been kind of
hard to touch.
Like to me, they haven't fully connected with me. Of course, I think Circles did, and since then it's been kind of like. But I think eventually, maybe I'll be like, man, I was asleep. A
lot of women rappers in our list. It's been kind of slow, but one that I really did enjoy was Tia Karenian.
Karenian.
Yep, we talked about that one. That's one of my favorites of the year. She talks about some girly things, but it's slapping, it's lighthearted, and she knows how to rap. She can rap her ass off. She's got some good features on here. She got a JID feature where he did really good. I love how he flipped her chorus, because that chorus was out of pocket. So the fellas need to be able to say, hold on, wait, put it in my face, talk about something else. No, that was just a really fun album for me.
Hell yeah.
I felt like she capped off the trilogy well, and I'm excited for her next chapter.
I mean, even with the single that blew her up, Freaky T, I feel like that was a fun track. I just love that she's continued to go down that lane and grow. Yeah, Rap City dropped an EP that was good, but that doesn't count. I'm not going to put that. Conway the Machine, You Can't Kill God with Bullets. I like this album. Came out later. Just missed it as far as I needed more time to sit with it probably to put it in there if I was going to. Same with West Side Gun stuff this year. He dropped, as usual, he drops a few things. I think Conway's I liked more. But, West Side dropped a bunch of bangers this year. If you were really tapped in with West Side, I know some people might have dropped off because they were like, oh, he's flooding the streets a little too much. I feel like this was a good year for him, too.
He had some good stuff. I feel like he did a good job changing up the production this year. And it wasn't too much of the old. And I think that's really what made me gravitate back towards it. And I feel like Conway was just getting back into form because I feel like he hasn't had it since From King to a God. I felt like was his last super solid project. And then after that, I've been kind of left amiss, but he's getting back there. Ken Carson, more chaos, bro.
Nah, me personally, I mean, I didn't like super dislike it. I just didn't really heck a vibe with it.
So
Same with Destroy Lonely.
Real question though, what was really that different from chaos to more chaos? Was there growth? Was it more the same? Was it redundant?
I'm not gonna say it's not for me because I like some of the songs on it. Maybe just more thought out. I just felt like maybe this felt like leaks. Felt like it was like, oh, I'm gonna put this out because I've been saying I'm gonna put it out. Like maybe something else than the chaos theme. But I don't know if he's gonna do that. Maybe he's gonna keep doing this. Kind of how I feel with Destroy Lonely, but I think Ken's on a better path than Destroy right now because I didn't really enjoy Destroy Lonely's new project at all, really.
At all.
While Ken, I'm still vibing with. It wasn't really even an honorable mention this time. It just was kind of like, I noticed you still though because I fuck with the sound. It's just not all the time.
Yeah, it's tough, man.
You want to talk about a fun project this year? That surprised me. Even though I like some of his stuff, I really liked BFB the Pac-Man. That's brilliant. I don't know what it was. This came out, and I know he's a troll and he's a funny guy, but I don't know. It's just this one clicked. I clicked on it because it was like, oh, new releases. I know BFB. I check out his stuff when it drops. I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did. He had Mike and Starlito on there. He had me really starting to check out Starlito, who's another kind of like rapper in that kind of lane, but he's way more gritty with it. I appreciate this album because of that, so I had to mention it. I was playing that a lot when it dropped. He's a funny guy, and you know me, man. I be trolling.
Yeah.
I be, so.
I will mention only a few more. One that I really liked, It's Brokey, dropped the project that I saved. Y'all can look up It's Brokey and find what album I'm talking about because I refuse to say it. Swag though. Fucking top tier production. I found out who Brokey was from the Danny Brown album actually, because we didn't talk about that at all. When Danny Brown
I mentioned it a little bit I think earlier because you said it might be on there and I said it wasn't, but he had a bunch of artists like this.
And honestly, like the Danny Brown album, it wasn't in my top 20, but he did show me a lot of different people in that space. Gave Brokey a cosign. And Danny Brown's doing the right thing with his influence, bro, because this is a great project. Bay Area kid. Production was 10. I told you to check it out.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was dope, the production and some of the energy. I like some of the wacky stuff. I mean, sometimes they get, really different with it. But I'm one of those people where I don't have to relate to everything you say. As long as you're flowing and it's kind of hard. And they be going in. Underscores, I checked out their project because of that Danny Brown album too, and that was another dope artist in that list. I mean, all of them almost. Like I tried to do my research because I'm like, yo, like who are these artists? And that's what I love about Danny Brown. He's always doing something different. This time he's putting on people different. I love that because Danny Brown's always been someone for the hipster, someone for the alternative listener. So to see him go deeper as he gets older and still like have an ear for like what's going on in a whole different scene, bringing that to the hip hop listeners' ears that wouldn't even check for that, man, I gotta give him props for that.
It's crazy,
even if it's not for everybody, because that Stardust album is kind of wacky, but he's done that before. It's just to hear him do it like that at this age was like, okay,
Yeah, it's completely different than something that I would usually listen to.
Skelly Bo, Half Moon, man. Someone we had on the pod, someone local, a younger artist that's coming up. I do think he was able to talk about relationships in a way that was interesting, and having him on here and give his perspective and also just talking about other things definitely added some insight to this album. And I do think, I'm excited to hear what he does next because he's been grinding. He's been doing live shows. I need to catch one, but it's dope to see him continuing to improve with 7 Entity too. They've been making moves as a group, a collective. So I'm going to support that. I'm going to shout them out because, we need more artists like that from the Bay trying to do stuff like that.
Yeah, man, really down to earth cat. Just somebody you can talk to about anything, I feel like. And that is a great attribute to have as an artist because he can really get deep on a lot of things that some people just might not be able to open up about. Half Moon, that was tough. Loved having him on here. Last one that I'm going to give, Red Veil, Sankofa. dropped at the end of the year. That was really tough. I felt like that was his defining what lane he's going to go to and how he's going to progress forward. I feel like his projects have been a lot looser before. This one I felt was more pointed, and the production was really, really great. He even did some singing on here, and that was good. So he's just a really well-rounded artist, and I'm really appreciating what I got from this one. So features were tough. Nothing to complain about.
I agree. I really like this project. Him and Mavi dropped at similar times. Mavi dropped the pilot,
my God.
and they both were really dope albums. They came out later. Maybe if they would have came out earlier, they could have maybe made it. Because I really appreciate these albums and the perspectives.
Mavi's like on the border, bro, and it wasn't even on my fucking list, bro.
You remember I had one like that last year. It happens, man. When you're listening.
Oh my God.
But when I was going through everything, this one stuck out because I was really impressed with Mavi. So I'm gonna keep listening to this one throughout the year. Yeah.
Yeah, he was so good on that project, bro. The Giannis freestyle, that's tough, bro. That shit gets slapped all the time.
Flying Anakin, The Forever Dream. I really like this album. Came out earlier.
Good list, good mentions. If we didn't mention you, skill issue. There's just so much to talk about, bro. We've been yapping for an hour and a half, so I don't want to keep you here all night, man. Talk about music shit forever, bro. But thank you to all the artists for all these wonderful projects for us to talk about. Even if I said I didn't like it, we still talking about it, man. And that's really the beauty of this shit, is that it's all just us getting excited about things we like, things we don't like, and how, all this stuff comes together every year, and learning lessons and having experiences that we can all share. It's really special, man. It's really special. So I'm thankful for the channel, for the platform, for Ray. To do all this stuff means a lot to me. So appreciate you guys for watching. Make sure you guys like, you comment, you subscribe, support the channel. Go ahead, Ray. You got it, bro.
Yeah, shout out to everybody. This was a great year. Shout out to you, DeadLeigh. Couldn't do this without you. I appreciate you. It's love, man. And it's love to the viewers. It's love to the artists, of course. We appreciate all the good drops. People might give certain artists crap, or, we might come off negative sometimes, but at the end of the day, it's just us talking about music because we love it and we want good music. And it might not be for us, and that's why it might not be on our list. But we still appreciate what you bring to the table. And we're looking forward to what comes out this year. If you got any suggestions, if you got anything you want us to look out for this year, leave them down below. We got big plans as far as we're going to keep the content coming. We want to talk about some classics. We're seeing OGs come back. Me, man, I want to get into some of the classics. I know DeadLeigh wants to talk about some more of the stuff that we miss, and vice versa. So we got some big things coming. So we appreciate all the support and all the love. With that being said, peace.